Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is the Papa Joe Show, where Papa Joe knows. I am your host, Papa Joe. Thank you for being here. Much appreciated. It's been an interesting morning so far. Been dealing with a bit of, I locked up my neck and shoulders somehow. I think it was from going to the gym last night. I just got back to the chiropractor and am sitting here trying to figure out how to turn my head. Fun stuff this morning so far. Yeah. Anyways, for those of you who know me, I screwed my back up when I was a kid, and technically, and I'm still dealing with issues from it. So fun times, I tell you what. So first things first, do me a favor, please subscribe to the channel. Help me grow the channel. Get it out on your socials, and get folks in here and watching and enjoying the show with you all. Pop in the live chat, say hey. If you're watching on another platform, pop in here and comment, like, subscribe, whatever stuff like that. Yes, please help me grow the channels out, subscribe them out, and get folks in here. Do me a favor. Also, please like the videos. Go through, and the reason the liking I'm finding out here doing this stuff is that when you smash those likes, it helps the algorithms find people who want to hear this type of information. So you guys are in here, help me get that other people in here and the hopefully valuable information that I can bring to the table here for you guys and gals. So and then share it out, get it on your socials, help me get the word out that we're having a pretty cool conversation about all kinds of wonderful fun stuff today. Man, that really it's gonna be a fun day. All right, so let's pop into the chat here. Good morning, Tom. How are you doing, my friend? Good morning, Eva. How are you? Good morning. Good afternoon, John. How are you doing? From Maine. I hope everyone is having a wonderful Christmas. We have had a wonderful Christmas. Thank you. Kim, good morning. Lithia, good morning. Good morning. Taxman 66090. Thanks for popping in. Good morning. How are you doing? So, been a fun morning so far. Like I said, got up, got some coffee, started doing different things, and all of a sudden everything just kind of locked up. So I'm trying to figure out how to get that done. Had some heat on there just a minute ago. Yeah. Oh, so much fun. Cost of doing stupid things when you're younger, right? Anyways, so so today I kind of want to talk about some stuff that I'm starting to pay attention and feel in the world of crypto and in the world of general markets. We're going to talk more on the market stuff than anything, I think, at this point. The reason I'm going to do that primarily because we're coming into some very unsettling times into the new year. Tom, no, not dirt bikes. It was a form of basic training, and I fell and compressed my spine. I say a form. It was a place for Christian young men you go to, and they take you. It's a program called ALERT. It stands for Airline Emergency Rescue Teams. And we would do all kinds of survival training. We did all kinds of. They took you through Marines basic training without the weapons. So I learned how to do all kinds of stuff: rappelling, underwater, research and rescue, high cliff rescues, things like that, like off of a cliff, someone hanging off of a cliff kind of thing. Anyways, I compressed my spine and really messed up myself from there. But anyways, not dirt bikes. That would have been fun. Mine was just a simple, stupid fall. But anyways, so kind of wanted to talk about the markets as a whole. The reason being is because we're coming into some interesting times here where those at the helm have no idea what they're doing anymore. They've driven everything into oblivion. They don't know what they are doing, and it's very painfully obvious. So it's going to be interesting as we come into the new year. One of the things I wanted to point out here, let's pop this over here. Fox Business is reporting that inflation is sticking around for 2022. Goldman says inflation could get worse before it improves, and I agree with that, and I think you guys do as well. And those of you who are new to the channel I like to talk about inflation because it affects everybody in the world. And I really mean that because when the US dollar gets inflated, the entire world gets inflated. We have a perfect example of that in Turkey, and we'll cover that in a minute. So, with that, need to be paying attention to the inflation prices, primarily because, well, it's going to hit everyone where it hurts the most, and that's everyone's personal wallet in their life. Coming into, what the heck, did they change? Did they change it? The whole page just refreshed. Did it change? Something must have been updated on the page. I don't like that. Interesting. Okay. Anyways, gotta love it when that happens. You're trying to talk about something and all of a sudden they change everything. All right. So the consumer expenditures price index jumped to 5.7%, well above the Fed's preferred target of 2%. So your 2% inflation every year, blah, blah, blah. No. You know, all those stimulus checks and child tax credits and PPP loans and all that money they just printed. Oh, that felt good. I just popped my shoulder. Ow. Yeah, that stuff is why you're paying for it now. Nothing is free. You're paying for all of that. That was free money. It's not free. You're paying for it now. It's in the form of higher prices and your goods and services that you pay for now. It's just the juxtaposition there. You're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place because they decided to print money and give it to everyone. Guess this is what happens. And then they're going, this is the funny part. They're not even recognizing that the 5.7% is because of that. They're like, we don't understand what's going on. That's their attitude. They don't get it. No, they did it completely. They're just trying not to blame themselves for what they're talking about. Officials now project rates to stand at 0.9% at the end of 2022, 1.6% at the end of 2023, and 2.1% at the end of 2024. They're going to try and raise the rates above 2% by the end of 2024. Also, the Fed has reduced the amount of asset purchases to $30 billion a month. Please understand, guys, I didn't talk about this. Those of you who are regulars, sorry if you're hearing this again, but for the new folks, they are buying stocks, bonds. The Federal Reserve, the centralized bank, is buying up all this stuff, and they're going to stop. That's why you see the market coming down. Honestly, that's part of the reason you see crypto coming down, because people look at the stock market, and those who are traditional investors are looking at all markets. So they're going, I need to pull into cash, sit on the sidelines, and not do anything until we figure out where the bottom is. And a lot of people historically would do that, and it makes a lot of sense historically to do that. However, this time around, the dollar is worth less space there than it was last year, even by a lot. It's costing us a lot more of our dollars to buy the same goods and services that didn't change their supply at all. Although they would have you think it would be the supply chain issues that they've been artificially creating. That's a different discussion for a different day entirely. So please just be ready for what's going to happen here. Now, more on the inflation discussion here. And this is going to be something that everybody really needs to pay attention to. Please. You'll hear Cliff High talk about this. I completely agree with him. Turkey is a very vital part. It's a very interconnected part of the world economy. They have multiple different types of currencies that they deal in because of all of the Muslim world, the Muslim areas, whatever you want to call it, the Middle Eastern. They're a hub for that. Its dollar, the lira, has dropped again 2%. Central bank says it will monitor forex risks. The lira slipped as far as 12.1 or 12.11 against the dollar. I guess they forgot to put the percentage there. Or against the dollar, and traded at 12. Oh, never mind. This is the actual lira trading. Okay, so $12 and 11 cents against the dollar, and traded at $12.03 by whatever prices, whatever. Anyways, And despite surging more than 50% last week following state-backed market investments, has come back down 39% of its value this year. Every fiat currency system in the world is backed by the US dollar fiat system. No one knows that, but that is the way it is. We sit at a point where the US dollar is the world reserve currency, which means all of the other fiat currencies are technically backed by the US dollar. And in this system, the US dollar is inflated. Guess what happens to the rest of the other other cryptos or other fiats that don't have anything technically behind them? They crumble. When Turkey crumbles, the rest of the world, it'll be like dominoes. It'll just happen in rapid succession right after that. We are going to see a massive, massive drop in all of the value of the currencies around the world. Not necessarily a bad thing, because what we have this time around, it's going to affect everyone in the world. It already is. But this time around, we have crypto. Right now, I think it was whoever the president or whatever, the ruling class in Turkey, put a bill in front of their Congress, as they would have it, their parliament, that would make Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies legal tender. That's not being reported on anywhere. You know why? The vast majority of the Turkish people have taken their lira and they didn't buy dollars. Some of them bought gold and silver, but the rest of them are moving it into cryptocurrency. Yeah, Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin, I don't have it right now. I was looking at it last night or the day before. The price of Bitcoin and the lira has skyrocketed and it hasn't stopped. It hasn't pulled back, and it's continuing to grow. And you guys need to just be aware. This is where things are headed. I keep saying it on the show, and I'm going to say it over and over again. I have friends, I have family, I have people I work with who ask the question, what's your exit strategy with cryptocurrency? And I'm like, cryptocurrency is the exit strategy, and it confuses the crap out of them. They're like, yeah. No. What are you going to do? Let's say Bitcoin runs to $100,000. Are you going to pull anything out? I'm like, no. I might take a loan out on it, but I'm not going to. And then I might buy more Bitcoin when it drops, but with that loan. But I'm not getting rid of the Bitcoin. Won't do it. Won't touch it. The thing is, though, is that when that happens, people are going to go into the dollar, just like they always do, because if crypto comes back down, people are going to pull out and put it in the dollar. Why would you do that if the dollar is inflated intensely and worth less? Space there, worth less than it was today than it was yesterday, kind of thing? Why would you do that? You'd be stupid to do that. No offense to anyone who does, but realistically, think about it for a second. I get it. You got to still use the dollar. It's not going to go away for a while. I get it. That's fine. Don't worry about it. That's fine. You got to realize that that crypto is how people around the world who are in a fiat currency system that is collapsing are getting themselves into a safer place. They're locking in or protecting their ability to purchase and continue to live their lives. Yes, Tom, put it in gold and silver while you can. Yes, that is one way to protect your purchasing power. That locks it in. That is a savings account. But if you're going to look at something that you're going to need to maybe have a little more fluid, buying crypto is going to be a way to do that. Yes, not financial advice or anything, but I highly recommend a certain amount of gold, a certain amount of silver, physically holding it, and then the rest in crypto. I don't tell anyone what to do with your money. Please do your own research. This is not financial advice. I don't talk about financial advice or anything. Give you guys legal advice, tax advice, financial advice. This is not what this show is about. This is for educational and or entertainment purposes only. Sometimes some of the stuff I think are entertaining. I don't know. You guys tell me. So please, I'm begging you, my audience here, and anyone who pays attention to this, be ready for this. Because when it happens, it's going to happen in rapid succession, and it's going to bring the whole world the whole fiat system globally is going to collapse. It already has. They have no money. The emperor has no clothes. They live in a glass house, and they tell you they're not. And everyone so far has listened to them and believed them. They're not. They have no money. They created out of thin air. They can't do that anymore. Maybe this is something we talk about on my Patreon, but I was scrolling through TikTok and of all things, and I noticed a video from a Rothschild saying some pretty interesting stuff. They're after something. Someone's after the banking system. I think we all know who. Our 17th friend kind of talked about that stuff happening, and I think that we've got some interesting times ahead of us when it comes to banking. So during the transition, because there will be one, there has been for the past 5,000 years, gold has been the way for people. Gold, silver, have been for the way for people to take whatever they have from a purchasing power perspective, their value, and they would transition to whatever the next currency is. It's going to happen again, because it continues to happen. As long as fiat currency systems are allowed to remain alive on the earth to be able to function, we will constantly have this destruction of the fiat, moving into another system, and then so on and so forth. Cryptocurrency, however, this time around offers people a way to have a free and unregulated, if you will, uncontrolled, centralized, a decentralized currency works in capitalism. If you have a truly decentralized and truly non-controlled currency, capitalism flourishes massively, intensely. And you have different people from around the world who look at capitalism and say, it's going to fail. You see the booms and busts in the financial system, blah, 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 blah. And it's not a good, healthy thing to do, and this, that, and the other. You hear people say that kind of stuff all the time. No. It is true in a fiat system that it booms and busts, that you have the rises and the falls. You put something like Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in place where it is a money of the internet for and by the people that is everywhere and yet nowhere, and not any individual entity can control the money supply of that, and it's all mathematically programmed into the system, capitalism will just explode. Each Bitcoin is divisible by a Satoshi. Each Bitcoin is divisible by 100 million Satoshis. Please understand that you don't have to hold a whole Bitcoin in the not too far future to actually be part of the top 5-10% of the world. And you really don't have to hold much at all to be that. Just saying, Bitcoin as a whole will be huge globally because it will be used as a way for countries like Turkey, the US, to do trade, to settle debts between each other, things like that. I cannot get this one bone to move. Oh, man, sorry. Alrighty, so let's jump over here real quick. Something to kind of pay attention to. This is going to happen to a lot of people around the world. This isn't just going to happen to our troops. Unfortunately, it is happening to our troops because we have a flashbang as a moron and he has no idea what he's freaking doing. U.S. troops will receive a pay cut in 2022 when factoring in inflation. They're getting a pay raise of 2.7%. Well, inflation went up like more than 15% overall, or overall is almost 30% if you encounter all different areas. But the main one that the Federal Reserve looks at, it's risen almost 10% over the year. Okay, and they get a 2% raise. No. That's the most. If you get a 3% raise, or if you get a 6% raise, if you get any raise that's under like 8%, 8% isn't even enough to really cover it. Let's just be honest. If you get a raise lower than that, you are actually getting a pay cut this year. In 2022, you will be getting a pay cut. And I've made that known to my management stream. Just be like, you know what? Just so you understand, inflation's real, and I don't want to get a pay cut this year. They're like, well, what do you mean? I was like, the pay raise across the board for everyone should be at least 8% in order for it to actually account or be a raise or keep that standard of living the same. Freaking gasoline went up 58%. More than 58%. Food prices went up more than 6%. And just this year alone, folks, just this year alone. Please, you need to make sure you tell your employers if you do that stuff, that if they give you a raise, it has to be at least 8% for it to be accounted for everything. Our daggum Flash being sitting here giving our troops a 2.7% raise. That's a stab in the back. These people, he wants them to obey the orders. They're not going to do anything that he asks. I already tell you that right now for lots of other reasons, but you're not going to do anything. You really need to pay attention. This is going to happen. This isn't just happening in the U.S. or for our troops. Everybody is going to have something like that come 2022, and you're going to have a major, major problem. We're coming into this time, all these businesses and corporations and stuff. Okay, here's your regular, standard of living increase. Here you go. You're good. Don't worry about it. And then they're not accounting for inflation. I really think you guys need to take it to your employers and be like, yeah, you'll need to account for inflation. Because if they don't account for inflation, you are going to get a pay cut. You will end up with a pay cut. Technically, we're at a pay cut now. Coming into the new year, you will have a pay cut. Well. Looky here. What's this say? A 91% asset plunge hits a Blackrock fund of sustainability EM stocks. What was once a second biggest exchange-traded fund investment in sustainable emerging market companies just became a shadow of its former self. In the 2 days leading up to Christmas Eve, the iShares ESG MSCI Leaders ETF, whatever the crap that is, lost 91% of its investments. I wonder why. Compared to the $308 million on December 21st, that's the biggest 2-day outflow of a developing nation ETF this year. According to data compiled by Bloomberg. That's a lot. BlackRock is one of the biggest investment firms in the world. I actually think they may be the biggest. They just wrote off billions for Evergrande. Now they've got 91% of an ETF that they own or part of or whatever, control. Lose 91% of its shares. I smell something stinky here. Something's going on. This is what I'm trying to say. You need to pay attention to these. I talk about cryptos and blockchain a lot on this channel, yes. And that is a very big focus. And we're still going to talk about some of this stuff here in just a minute. But you need to pay attention to the global markets, because that is partially and mostly historically the economy as it is today. Now we're transitioning into a crypto economy and a blockchain economy. Don't worry about that. That is happening. Like I said, you need to pay attention to these other markets so that you know when that's going to happen, so that you know when the outflow from these types of ETFs, bonds, stocks, whatever, start to move into crypto. You need to be ready for it and pay attention to it and understand it. Yeah, it's going to go up a lot. Are you ready to be able to spend your crypto? Are you ready to be able to have it in a tax-free jurisdiction? Are you in the position to be able to do those types of things? If you're not, those are some questions you guys really need to start asking yourselves. Because if you're going to try and spend your crypto, like most everyone's going to end up doing, they're going to have to do, it's not going to be worth anything. You businesses out there, if you're paying attention and knowing what's going on here, reach out to me. Let's have a conversation. I'll teach you and or help you or work with you or set up some kind of working relationship, building out some sort of solution for you to be able to accept cryptocurrency as payment for your goods and services. Guess what? You're going to have to. And you can either have them take something like a Litecoin card, like one of these things. If I can get it out here. Hang on. There it goes. Like a Litecoin card. You see it? It says Litecoin on it. It's literally a card that you can spend your crypto with. If you don't have that kind of, you're going to end up having someone like me come in and spend my crypto in your system, and you're going to get fiat, which is going to be worth less tomorrow than it is today. But I spent crypto. Now, I could have sent you the Litecoin in your terminal there, and it will be worth more tomorrow than it is today. You would have made even more money off of that sell rather than just taking fiat directly from it. So I can benefit either way, and I will benefit either way. You as businesses, y'all want to benefit? Have a conversation with me. Reach out to me. I do a Patreon show. You guys can reach out to me in there. A lot of you folks do. It's beautiful to actually have conversations with folks. I am slow at responding because I have a lot of different things going on, and Patreon doesn't exactly alert me when I get a notification from you guys, from you all. I have to actually log in and see what's there, and if I have notification, I try to respond to it. So, also, I do have my website. I'll put that up there too. Yeah, I do. I actually have a business where I do that kind of stuff. Yeah. So pay attention. People are going to have to start dealing with cryptocurrency whether they like it or not, because the world is going to move into it. I'm telling you, it's going to move into it. So let's move on. Now, this is where some things kind of start to get exciting. Bitcoin's dominance falls under 40%. John Wilkinson has a question here. Speaking of Litecoin, where do you see it heading? You mean price-wise, John? I'm assuming price-wise. I think price-wise is going, I don't know target-wise where it's going to go, but I will tell you that it's going to potential. Well, at one point it was said that it would be a 5-to-1 ratio with Bitcoin. So I could see that happening. The reason being is because Litecoin is most likely going to become the means of exchange. It is like Bix Weir says, the right coin. Tom, up. It's going up. Yes. Price and use. So the price, yes, price is going to most likely, I could see it going 5-to-1 with Bitcoin. So 5 Litecoins for 1 Bitcoin and vice versa. But use, they partnered with AMP and they've created something called a Flexa network. And with the Flexa network, we have the ability to do a lot of things. Go look into Flexa. When I say a lot of things from a business perspective, if a business sets themselves up to use or be part of the Flexa network, people can use things like the Spend app or like other different applications in there. They do have other applications in there where the merchant can receive the crypto directly through the Flexa network instantaneously, effectively. And it's all running with Litecoin and the Lightning Network and stuff like that. It's all very, 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 very much so an advancement in the right direction. We'll put it that way. So Litecoin is where you need to kind of pay attention to for the goods and services, the point of sales, things like that type of stuff. Buying and selling. I think Bitcoin's going to be that store of value or that transfer of value. So, anyways, I was going to say here, Bitcoin's dominance falls under 40%. The reason I bring this up, the last time we had it drop like this, it was something called altcoin season. Now, this simply means that the majority of the overall market cap for all cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin has 40% dominance over the rest of them, all of them combined. So there's 40% more money in Bitcoin than there is combined in all the other cryptocurrencies. And there's nothing wrong with that. However, when that scale tips and Bitcoin becomes less in there, the overall market share for the rest of the coins is it shows and signals that it's going up, which means the alternative coins are going to significantly increase over the next couple of years. That's what happened in 2018. I actually think this covers it. Yeah. 40% is very close to the all-time low of 36.7% in late 2018, according to the data from TradingView. Now, the last time this happened, we had a major run in a lot of the altcoins, like a major run. With over 16,000 alternative coins to choose from, Bitcoin's market dominance is now below 40% for the first time since June 2018. With an unlimited supply of easily created cryptos with virtually identical properties, Bitcoin is losing its first mover competitive advantage. Peter Schiff doesn't really know a whole lot, but he's not really. I say it wrong. He doesn't know a lot of stuff, but he's got some interesting perspectives that I agree on some things with him, and I don't agree on other things with him. And I'm sure he did the same with me. We would agree and disagree on multiple different things. If I ever get a chance to meet him, talk to him, I would love to talk to him about some of those things that why do you think about something like this, that, and the other? I'm not going to put out here on public or anything like that. But anyways, it's interesting. Ethereum's dominance continues to sit above 20% at almost 500 billion. Well, Ethereum should probably pay attention to one of our most favorite coins recently. Guys, can you guess what it is? Polygon. They should really kind of be paying attention, looking over their shoulders for Polygon. Polygon can do things Bitcoin can't do, or cryptos can't, Bitcoin can't do. Ethereum can't do. You know what else? They should probably be looking over their shoulder for? The Divi project. So, you guys know what Divi is starting to talk about doing? Did you know that they're building something called an ERC20 token bridge? That came across the Twitter feed last night. Yeah. By the way, if you're not following me on Twitter, you really probably should. Because I will share all kinds of stuff there. This show is actually live on there too. But it's PAPAJO. You can't see it at all right now because of the banner. Hang on, I'll move that. Let me bump this up. Boom. Wrong button. Over here, it's PAPAJO 42. I used to have PAPAJO, but Twitter deleted it because I shared a lot of stuff that I talk about on my Patreon. Yeah, things like that. They deleted it. It's gone forever. I can't access it again. It's very frustrating. Anyways, yeah, follow me on Twitter. I definitely put some stuff out there. Anyways, Divi's building a bridge, a cross-chain bridge. Sounds familiar to Polygon. So John's got a really good question here. What will the Divi bridge open up? Sorry. Basically, it'll allow Divi to interact with ERC20 tokens. Be interchangeable, most likely wrapped, things like that. So if you got a really, really kind of like what Polygon does, you send Ethereum a Polygon network, it's lower fees. Divi will go to $3+ I think Divi will go almost to $10 after a year of the bridge being live, just because when projects set up a bridge, that's about the growth that they get. These are not financial advice, but you might want to pay attention to Divi. Just saying, the amount of residual income you can make with Divi is phenomenal. Just saying. Anyways, I was over here talking about Bitcoin's dominance going down because of altcoins. Pay attention to those altcoins. I'm telling you, folks, I look at these projects because of the real world solves. Polygon, Divi, real world solves. One of the other ones I like right now is Axie Infinity, but it's because they have a really high rate of return on their staking. And it's a game, and everyone games. Yeah, Tom, I really think that's an easy guesstimate. It's a very easy guesstimate. I think in the first month it'll rise above 20 cents. I think after that it'll three months it'll go above $1. 6 months it'll go, I think, above like $2 to $5. And then after a year, I think it'll be bumped up to almost 10. That's just, yeah, show me the money. We'll see. All right, so last little thing I wanted to touch here. and this is just for the newcomers into the show and other people that watch my show that are not quite into cryptocurrency, but I wanted to actually just point something out here. Here's how much money you would have if you invested $1,000 in 4 of the top cryptocurrencies this year. Okay? Do you understand where this is going? Okay? So, scroll down here. If you had invested $1,000 on January 1st, you would have bought it at $29,000. And you would have approximately $1,632. Okay, cool. As of yesterday, right? So not too bad. Increase is great. 65% increase, not too bad. So, come down here to Ethereum. If you had bought January 1st, did you guys see this, by the way? This year, it was $733 in January. Did you ever forget that? I forgot that. Yeah, it hit above $4,000 already. That's a pretty big increase. It's over 400%. Can you do that in the stock market? Nope. You can't do that in the stock market. You would have $5,226.16 at the price of Ethereum. Now, this next one is going to probably surprise some people, but there are other people that I know that actually did this, except with more than $1,000. So, if you're ready for it, here we go. Solana was $1.53 in January, and it rose in 1 year more. It was above $200. It rose, as of the time of this writing for this, is $181.18. That's $118,000. It's more than $118,000. You take $1,000 and turn it into $118,000. That's more than 13,000% increase. That's pretty crazy, guys, gals. Yeah, you can't do that with, and I'm not going to cover Dogecoin because whatever. It's just, $1,000. Okay, $32,000. Whatever. Ugh. Dogecoin is just, no. We're not talking Dogecoin. We don't talk about Dogecoin on this channel, other than the fact that it was built as a joke. It's a meme coin. It's a real meme coin. I can't believe I had to cover Shiba Inu, but they actually built something. Dogecoin didn't, and they're not going to. Anyways, yeah, cryptocurrency gets you real wealth, generational wealth, and I'm not talking in dollars, okay? You need to start denominating and figuring out how to take what you have in crypto and figure out how many bars of silver you can buy, how many ounces of gold you can buy, how many cars you can buy, how many houses you can buy, okay? Property, land, what's it denominated in? You got to pay attention to those things. Yes, Doge, blech. Yes, so Rick, 100%. I know people made a lot of money in dollars with it, and there's nothing wrong with that. I just can't invest in something that is, for me personally, I cannot invest in something that's like that. I just can't. I will not support it just because I don't believe in it. I won't do it. Sometimes I forget I have the coffee here. I get really into the conversation with you guys. I mean, I'm running over on time here anyways. Yeah, fun stuff. Measure my wealth in Satoshis. There you go, Attorney Man. What's going on, brother? Yes. Measuring my wealth in Satoshis. That is really cool. That's a good way. I'm going to build a spreadsheet for that. That'd be fun. That'd be fun. All right, everyone. Listen up. I got to cut it here. You guys have a wonderful rest of the day. So let me hold up. So today I will not have a Patreon show. Tomorrow I will not have a Patreon show, and then Friday I will not have a Patreon show. We are going to visit some family, and we got to get ready. So I need this afternoon to kind of do some stuff for that, and then we'll be traveling tomorrow, and then we will be with family on Friday. So, so I will attempt to do a show tomorrow. Might be driving. That'd be fun. Good show while I'm driving. Get to hear the kids screaming in the background. I'm just teasing. Look at you, Eva, launching a gold node today. Fantastic. That's in Divi for those who do not know. Fantastic. Congratulations. That's going to pay off really well. It's going to pay off really well. Congratulations for sure. That's freaking awesome. So, that's exciting. Where was I? Okay, so no Patreon today, tomorrow, or Friday. And I will attempt to do a show tomorrow, and we'll see about Friday. I'll let you guys know in the Patreon. If you're not part of the Patreon, subscribe. I do those at 4:30 every day, unless I'm doing something like traveling or spending time with family or something. That is where Papa Joe, me, gets to be unfiltered and have a conversation about things that would literally get this video ripped offline and potentially the channel too. So that's scrolling on the bottom of the screen here. I also have it linked in the description of the channel. It's not a lot at all. It's there to allow me to be able to talk about things that the freedom of speech isn't being attacked. So those of you who are part of that, it means the world to me. It really does. It's, like I mentioned yesterday, my job's being threatened. The stupid cookie mandate stuff, and if I could grow these types of things where I have those streams, I can continue to do this type of content. That would be very helpful, because the type of job I have right now, if I had to go find something else for any reason, would be very hard to do the shows and stuff like that. So I'll figure it out. God's in control. I'm not really worried about it. Talk about residual income all the time. I could flip a few knobs here and there, and it would work out pretty well. So anyways, let's see here. You almost had a silver node there. Kind of nervous, but Papa Joe put me. Very glad, Eva. Very glad. Not sure how I did, but very glad. That's awesome. I'm glad. Yes, it's going to be very, very fun. Tom, that's fantastic, buddy. That's fantastic. That's great. It's going to be really good, guys. It's going to be really, really good. Silver is approximately 2,700 Divi a month, I think. So if you did that at $10, it's $27,000 if it hits $10 in a month. Yeah, think about that. Lamplighter, thank you for popping in. Good afternoon. All right, so let's see. I'm going to go ahead and cut it there again. So you guys have a wonderful rest of the day. I will see you potentially tomorrow at 12:30. If I feel like I can't, I'll record something for you guys. So anyways, you guys have a wonderful and blessed afternoon. Talk to you later.